Elisa Lam arrived in Los Angeles with the kind of hope that often follows long periods of emotional strain. She had taken time off from her university classes in Vancouver, wanting a trip that would clear her mind and break the monotony she often wrote about on her blog. She was 21, reflective, and openly wrestling with episodes of anxiety and depression. Traveling alone felt like proof that she could navigate unfamiliar places without losing control. She moved from city to city with curiosity, taking photos, visiting bookstores, and documenting scattered thoughts as though each new street might help her understand herself better. When she chose the Cecil Hotel, she didn't know its past. From the outside, it looked like a budget-friendly building in the center of downtown, close to transportation and tourist areas. But the hotel sat on the edge of Skid Row, a district shaped by decades of economic collapse, homelessness, and untreated mental illness. For locals, the Cecil had a reputation as a place where tragedies happened quietly, a building that seemed to collect disturbing stories over time. Many of its long-term residents lived difficult lives, and police officers were familiar with calls coming from its upper floors. Elisa initially stayed in a shared room, but other guests reported unusual interactions. They described moments when she appeared calm and polite, followed suddenly by abrupt shifts in mood or distracted behavior. Staff later moved her to a private room, hoping the change would make her more comfortable. Still, she maintained a strict habit. She called her parents every day. That connection was her anchor. And when the calls stopped on January 31st, her family immediately contacted authorities. The police began searching the hotel, but the building's structure worked against them. Floors were unevenly lit, stairwells branched into unexpected corners, and many areas had no functioning cameras. Officers questioned guests and employees, yet nothing explained where Elisa had gone. Eventually, investigators examined surveillance footage from the hotel's elevators, expecting it to provide a straightforward timeline. Instead, the recording complicated everything. The video showed Elisa entering the elevator cautiously, pressing several buttons as if unsure of her destination. She stepped aside, leaning forward to look into the hallway with visible tension. At moments, she hid in a corner, then abruptly moved her hands in patterns that resembled an attempt to signal or reason with someone unseen. The elevator doors remained open far longer than usual, as if disconnected from their proper timing. Then she walked away and disappeared beyond the frame. This was the last confirmed image of her at that moment. Investigators had no idea that the footage would soon ignite worldwide speculation and transform a missing person case into one of the most puzzling mysteries of the decade. Detectives expanded their search through the Cecil Hotel after realizing the elevator video would not provide clear answers. The footage showed irregular jumps and missing frames, making it impossible to determine whether someone had approached Elisa outside the camera's view. Technicians attributed the problems to outdated equipment, but investigators could not rely on it. They began interviewing guests and residents, yet the information was inconsistent. Some claimed to have seen Elisa near the elevators, while others said they never noticed her. The hotel's confusing layout only added difficulty. Renovations carried out over decades created a maze of hallways, service areas, and stairwells. Many sections had no cameras at all, allowing a person to move freely without being recorded. Hotel staff led detectives through these hidden areas. Narrow corridors connected to older sections, and maintenance rooms branched into quiet corners. Several doors opened onto fire escapes, offering unmonitored paths between floors. As investigators followed these routes, they realized how easily Elisa could have moved without detection. A police dog joined the search and found her scent near one of the fire escape windows. The trail continued a short distance up the metal stairs, but faded quickly. Detectives could not determine whether she climbed higher or if something disrupted her path. Meanwhile, guests began reporting issues with the water in their rooms. Some noticed low pressure, while others complained about unusual color or taste. Maintenance staff suspected the building's aging pipes, a frequent problem, and did not connect the complaints to the investigation. Detectives examined Elisa's belongings for clues. Her notes reflected emotional shifts but offered no signs of immediate danger. Her medication was still present, though investigators could not confirm how consistently she had been taking it. The uncertainty widened the list of possible explanations, including confusion, accidental harm, or a vulnerable moment that someone else might have exploited. The case changed rapidly when the elevator video leaked online. People around the world analyzed her movements, offering theories ranging from fear to disorientation. Some suggested she was hiding from someone. Others believed she was reacting to something just beyond the camera's view. A few claimed to see shapes in the hallway, though investigators confirmed nothing unusual appeared in the original recording. The spreading speculation complicated the investigation. Detectives continued searching every accessible space inside the hotel. Only one area remained partially unexplored, the rooftop. Full access required special authorization due to safety restrictions. When permission finally came, officers climbed the final staircase, unaware that the most unsettling discovery of the entire case was waiting above them. Investigators stepped onto the rooftop with controlled urgency. The space was broad, cold, and mostly empty, except for the large metal water tanks that supplied the hotel. They spread out, scanning the concrete for footprints, disturbed dust, or any sign that Elisa had reached the roof on her own. Nothing looked out of place. The door leading up was meant to stay locked, yet there were no marks of force. Officers questioned whether someone with authorized access could have brought her there without attracting attention. They checked vents, ladders, and maintenance platforms. Most surfaces were clean or too exposed to hold traces. Then one officer noticed that the lid on one of the tanks sat slightly open. He called for the others. They climbed the narrow metal walkway around the tank and looked inside. The water was dark and still. Beneath the surface, they saw the outline of a body later confirmed to be Elisa Lam. The discovery stunned the team. They secured the area and requested support. Removing the body required draining the tank, which complicated the investigation. The tank was tall, smooth, and difficult to access without equipment. A ladder stood nearby, but using it demanded steady balance. The opening at the top was narrow, and the lid was heavy. Detectives questioned whether Elisa could have lifted it alone or positioned it again after entering the water. Maintenance logs showed only a few employees ever accessed the rooftop. When questioned, none reported seeing Elisa. Investigators searched for footprints on the tank or surrounding platform, but found nothing conclusive. Environmental exposure may have erased evidence, yet the absence of marks raised new doubts. The autopsy revealed no signs of assault. Toxicology showed small amounts of her prescribed medication, though not enough to fully explain her behavior in the elevator video. Detectives considered whether she had taken doses irregularly, which could cause confusion or disorientation. Still, this did not fully explain how she reached the roof or the tank. Public reaction intensified once the discovery was reported. Some believed she experienced a severe episode and wandered upward. Others argued the tank's height and heavy lid made accidental entry unlikely. Many pointed to the irregular elevator footage, suggesting something unseen influenced her movement. Online theories multiplied, each offering a different conclusion. Detectives tried to reconstruct her final path, but critical steps were missing. With malfunctioning cameras, inconsistent witness accounts, and a rooftop accessible only under restricted conditions, the sequence of events could not be fully mapped. The discovery offered a tragic answer but created new uncertainties that would continue to surround the case. After Elisa's body was recovered, investigators focused on understanding the circumstances leading to her death. Although the rooftop discovery answered where she had gone, it did not explain how or why she reached the tank. Detectives reviewed the hotel's layout, analyzing access points, elevators, and stairwells. They attempted to trace her movements backward, but the building's blind spots created unavoidable gaps. Security cameras failed to capture her final steps. Investigators interviewed staff who worked during the days around her disappearance. Most reported nothing unusual. Some recalled seeing maintenance personnel, but none mentioned interactions with Elisa, detectives considered whether someone familiar with the hotel could have guided her toward isolated sections. Though no evidence confirmed this, they reviewed her digital history, including emails and draft posts. Her notes reflected stress and emotional fluctuation, but also plans for future destinations. Public interest intensified quickly. The combination of the hotel's history, the elevator video, and the rooftop discovery created global debate. People questioned how she reached such a restricted area. Some demanded deeper investigation. Others accepted the possibility of severe confusion. One major point of scrutiny was the roof access alarm. Hotel officials claimed it would trigger if opened. Yet some employees said it did not always function reliably. This inconsistency complicated efforts to determine whether Elisa reached the roof alone. Another possibility involved the fire escape. Certain windows opened onto metal stairs that led upward without alarms. Detectives considered whether Elisa might have climbed independently, though the effort required raised doubts. The coroner's report listed her death as accidental drowning with bipolar disorder as a significant condition. Investigators acknowledged the finding, but noted unresolved questions. Why she went to the roof, how she navigated the layout, and how she entered the tank remained unclear. Investigators tested how a person could move between floors using fire escapes or side corridors. They checked whether anyone reported unusual noises that night, but no accounts were consistent. Detectives studied keycard logs and staff rotations, searching for patterns that might reveal access to restricted areas. None of the records indicated deliberate involvement. They also considered environmental factors, dim lighting, unfamiliar surroundings, and the hotel's chaotic atmosphere. Still, these elements did not fully explain how she reached the roof or managed the tank's heavy lid. The unresolved details kept the investigation open to interpretation. Investigators revisited the rooftop several times, hoping that a second or third search might reveal subtle evidence missed earlier. Even then, no definitive trace emerged, reinforcing the unsettling idea that key moments of her final hours would remain unknowable. After investigators closed the case, the death of Elisa Lam continued to raise questions that official reports could not resolve. The ruling described her death as an accidental, drowning with bipolar disorder as a contributing factor, yet many details remained unclear. The investigation had documented what was possible, but the gaps created by missing footage and unmonitored sections of the hotel left key moments unexplained. The Cecil Hotel struggled with the renewed attention. Guests cancelled reservations, while others arrived out of curiosity. Reporters gathered outside, and the building's history resurfaced in articles and online discussions. Detectives reviewed their notes again, confirming that no evidence indicated homicide. There were no signs of trauma, no forced entry, and no witness accounts suggesting another person was involved. Still, several unanswered questions remained difficult to dismiss. Investigators revisited the alarm system information. The rooftop door was supposed to trigger a loud alert, but employees later admitted it sometimes failed. This inconsistency prevented a clear conclusion about whether Elisa reached the roof alone. They also examined access routes. Fire escapes connected several floors to the rooftop without activating alarms. Elisa could have reached the top through one of these paths. Though the physical effort required raised doubts, her digital records showed plans for future travel, suggesting she did not intend self-harm. The notes on her computer reflected moments of stress, but also excitement about her trip. The motivation for going to the rooftop remained unknown. Online interest continued to escalate. People analyzed the elevator video repeatedly, proposing theories ranging from confusion to unseen interference. Some focused on the tank's height and lid weight. Others questioned the missing frames in the footage. Documentaries, independent analyses, and social media discussions expanded the case further. Each new explanation added more speculation rather than certainty. Detectives accepted that certain facts would remain inaccessible. The malfunctioning cameras, limited physical evidence, and absence of witnesses created a framework that no amount of review could fully solve. In the end, the investigation closed with an official cause of death. But the story did not feel finished. Elisa's final hours remained partially obscured, suspended between documented events and unanswered questions. The case became a symbol of how a single missing moment can change the entire understanding of a tragedy. Even years later, the details of how she reached the roof and what happened before she entered the water continued to provoke debate.